this is a really fun group, and when Bhuvnesh said, you know what, you need to come here and moderate this, I almost said, look, I'm busy, I need to travel because these guys are really a fun group. So, but Bhuvnesh, thank you for roping me in.
Bhuvnesh doesn't take no for an answer.
Yeah, he didn't, right? He didn't let me travel today, so thank you.
I said Bhuvnesh doesn't take no for an answer. Exactly.
He didn't even ask me.
It's on.
So today, with this distinguished group of people, they're all great leaders in their own domains. They have diverse experience managing very, very diverse portfolio of hotels with their vast experience in the industry. So it's actually a pleasure to be seated here with all of you. Today we're going to talk a little bit about operational excellence. Now, it has many faces. You know, when I say operational excellence, people normally think about the guest satisfaction scores, right? But there are many things that we do in our daily lives to get to that end result. I think that's what we want to talk about. We'll talk about technology. We'll talk a little bit about sustainability, efficiency gains, and quality assurance. Okay? So let's start with Atul. Okay? Atul, you have had extensive experience with ITC hotels, and I think you've kind of pretty much moved around the country, seen diverse operations. Can you share with us some of the best practices that you think that have significantly contributed to operational excellence at ITC hotels? At the same time, also looking at efficiency in terms of cost. I know you have such a diverse portfolio, so we'd love to hear from you.
Sure. Thanks. Thanks, Arun. And thanks, Bhuvnesh, for having me here on this panel. So each diverse hospitality environment always comes with its challenges, but also a great set of opportunities. So at ITC Hotels, we've been foraying into various different segments at this point of time, and last 6 years of journey has been phenomenal. And we created a robust structure which will which recognizes and leverages this diverse environment at this point of time, and I think we are actually absolutely ready for what's coming on our way at this point of time. And we were talking a little while back the way on this upcycle the industry is looking extremely good. So certain things comes to my mind at this point of time in terms of operational excellence as well as the cost efficiencies. If you look at shared services, the way ITC Hotels operates in terms of there is a hub and spoke model where we have large, well-set institutions, hotels, which support to all the newer ones. The newer ones heavily rely on them. So at this point of time, that's what is working very well for us. And it brings in the cost efficiencies at the same time operational excellence because of the speed to execution. The second is in terms of SOPs which are being done for hotels, which is in terms of irrespective of the size and the location. But the common thread running through them is the ITC Hotels hospitality. And because of that, they can be scaled to any size, so that again, it's coming from the common pool, which reduces the effort. That happens. Technology, obviously, it's an ever-changing environment around us, and that's really helping us in terms of scaling up operations, automatization. If you actually, at this point of time, we have close to around 55 to 60 different applications across functions, which has been implemented, and that's really helped us a lot. And one more point I'll talk about here. I know we have a paucity of time.
Please go ahead.
I know, I saw the signal. So the cuisine. the kind of work which happens at ITC hotels in terms of R&D, in terms of the development of concepts, cuisine, and at the same time nurturing the legendary brands what we have. And the fact remains that we have Bukhara, we have 10 Peshawaris, we have 5 Dampuks, we have 5 Dakshins, we have 6 Kebab and Curry, Otimo. Look at these brands which have grown over the period of time. So that's because of kind of R&D which goes into them and helps us to achieve that excellence. Thank you.
Atul, thank you very much. ITC hotels are known for all of these things that you mentioned, and also now technology. ITC Infotech is also really going leaps and bounds. So I think you guys have everything figured out. Thank you. Let's move on to Anupam. You know, Anupam, you run one of the best hotels in the country, okay? And luxury hospitality is a very, very difficult subject when it comes to keeping the service levels going. And what is it that you do at your hotel which keeps that luxury quotient going? And the service excellence, efficiencies, all of them rolled together. How does the luxury hospitality look for you?
Thank you, Arun. It's great to be here. Thank you, Bhuvnesh, for the opportunity. I think I'll speak a little bit about the challenges that we face and how we surmount some of those challenges. I think one of the biggest challenges is, of course, getting good people and retaining talent. I think that's the elephant in the room. And we've also turned it into an opportunity for us through world-class L&D systems and the way we go about getting our people and retaining them. Startling statistic that comes out from the catering colleges, which over the years have been supplying talent to us, is that the uptake of seats is only 40% at best in many of the colleges, and only 30 to 40% of people actually choose to join the industry. So we really have to take a hard look at how we go about doing things and how we develop people from within whether it's our leadership development programs, whether it's the way we treat our industrial trainees. They are the ones who go back as ambassadors or not of the brands that they work in, or even for that matter of the industry in general. So I think developing a world-class leadership development program has been one of the key things that we've done over the last few years, and that has really held us in good stead, because at the end of the day, it's the people who have to deliver the services. The other thing is about securing guest loyalty. That is very important, and it's not just about loyalty programs, because they tend to be transactional in nature. I'm talking about winning the hearts and minds of people, and that is through service and pure service in itself, also through pushing the boundaries on innovation, through hyper-localization, hyper-personalization, through experiences that we provide. And that is another thing that I can tell you we've really, really worked hard on over the last few years, especially in terms of food and beverage, where we've learned a lot from standalone restaurants and how they operate. And that has held us in very good stead, because world-class chefs such as Chef Massimo or World 50 Best Bars who come and work with us, and they continue to want to do so. The other aspect is, of course, wellness, which becomes a big vehicle for taking the the experiential aspect of our business forward. We came up with something called Ojasya. The second iteration of that is going on right now, and that is a beautiful blend of how wellness can translate into food and beverage. So pushing the envelope there and then. But having said that, at the end of the day, we all have to create environments that are positive and nurturing. And leaders, all of us over here, and those over, outside the room, have to know that they have to take coaching very seriously in order for them to be able to develop a leadership pipeline for the future.
Anupam, thank you very much. I think all of those are very pertinent points for running luxury hotels, and please keep doing it and make the country proud. You run one of the best hotels in the country. Thank you very much. Thank you. We're just talking about tier 2, tier 3 markets a couple of minutes ago, and you manage multiple locations with diverse products. How do you ensure that you gain efficiencies without compromising the operational excellence in all of these diverse locations?
Okay, good afternoon, everyone. First of all, Bhuvnesh, thank you so much for driving this amazing forum for all of us year on year. I think your passion just speaks for itself. We all are very happy to be here.
Big round of applause to Bhuvanesh. Where is Bhuvanesh? Amazing.
Speaking about cost efficiencies in whether you're in tier 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, wherever else, I think we all look at that. But I think there's a larger responsibility for all of us. Besides cost efficiency, it's also planet efficiency that is most important, and it's the need of the hour. I think as hoteliers, as operations, it's very important that we are able to look at both these aspects almost together. And at Accor, we've been fairly fortunate in having a very sustainable way of measuring this to start with. We have something called Gaia, where each of our records as far as power and other consumptions like water, food wastage are actually tracked, just not at a regional level or a country level, it's actually at a global level. And you are actually supposed to give supportings to show what you're doing. So that is something which really works for us in terms of managing and measuring which each one of our hotels is doing. Besides this, we also have a lot of work that is happening on food wastage. We're using AI for this right now. We've actually tied up with an agency which helps us make our food production as well as wastage far more efficient, something which we started about 24 months ago. And as analytics are coming back, it helps us in, of course, reducing wastage, but along with that, in terms of pure cost efficiency, our food costs, etc., starts getting much better. So these are a couple of things which I felt is very important to share. But besides this, I think as far as cost efficiencies in hotels such as mine, which are combo hotels, we run several. We get great opportunities because at the end of it, the heart is the same. It's one heart of the house. And how we are able to manage our talent and using them at the right place at the right time and also training them really helps us a lot in making things much better for ourselves. A little touch point that I can speak about is we all do flowers, we all do leaf art on beds and you know, the swans, etc. And ultimately a guest comes and picks this up and you know, likes it, clicks it, but he also picks it up or she picks it up and sometimes puts it into the dustbin. Our housekeeping teams actually paint using eco colors on mirrors. And that's how you create an experience, and it literally becomes a little frame through which a guest is able to see themselves. So for us, I think we can't forget that we are hoteliers. We can't forget that hospitality is a work of heart and art, right? So we have to work on that efficiency, whether it's luxury or otherwise. I think we all are responsible towards that as well. So some little touch points here. Thank you.
Vineet, thank you very much. Ladies and gentlemen, for those of you who don't know Vineet, he runs one of the largest complex of combo hotel in the Aerocity in New Delhi. So Vineet, thank you very much. Let's move to Shridhar and let's chat a little bit about crisis management. You know, crisis happens in various ways, and all of us learn from these crisis situations. And how do you think, with your learnings through your experience, what is the best way to deal with crisis, and also how do you work around the challenges to maintain or exceed operational excellence that is really required for us in luxury hotels?
Thank you for the question, Arun. Good afternoon, everybody. Lovely to be here as part of the panel. I don't have to go back too far just a couple of months back and talking about crisis, I'm sure all of you must have heard about it in the newspapers. We had bomb threats for the hotel and the mall on 2 consecutive days. And, that is when really the entire leadership came out and made sure that the primary consideration of the organization was really to ensure the safety and security of all our guests and associates. To step back a little bit, this was really handled in a very successful way. We had the entire complex evacuated in 16 minutes. We had over 20 children who were staying with us in the hotel. We had almost 10 specially abled guests who were part of our guest list. And all of this was executed in a timely, professional manner, which really was an outcome of the brand's focus on investing in training. I'm proud to say that as far as industry is concerned, the Leela brand has probably one of the highest, investments per associate in terms of training. And it really showed that day when, the leadership remained calm, there was no panic. There was absolute crisis because obviously we were liaising very closely with the government authorities, and they wanted everybody to just be evacuated. There were people in the sauna, there were people in the steam room, there were people all over the hotel. And as you would have seen, this is a very large hotel. But really the things that we kind of instilled in terms of our training with regards to business continuity planning, with regards to how, with a cool and calm head, the leaders went about making sure that all aspects of the safety and security of the guests were taken care of was truly commendable. So just going a step back, Arun, I would really credit this to really, like I said, the brand's focus on, one, making sure the safety and security of our guests and associates is given topmost consideration. Second, investing in training to prepare ourselves for these kind of crisis situations that may emerge. And thirdly, as a brand, we've always been very proud of our commitment to a guest's safety and security, and that really showed that day. So, to answer your question with regards to, how can you be better prepared for crisis, my only answer to that would be continuous training.
Shridhar, please give it up for Shridhar, please, ladies and gentlemen. He is the host hotel, and I think they've handled this crisis very well, and I think that's great learnings for all of us. I'm kind of very emotional when we talk about such things because I've had experience with bombings, hurricane, flooding, and I think I want to leave it at that. So thank you very much, Shridhar. That was really nice. Let's move on to Kanika. Kanika and me worked together many years ago, and she is one of the accomplished leaders in the industry, and she runs the Vivanta here in Surajkund and is the area director of many other hotels on this part of the world. Kanika, how has Taj leveraged technology to streamline operations and also enhance guest experience? Can you share with us some specific examples on how to kind of do this so we can look and learn? Thank you.
Thank you for having me here, Bhuvnesh and team. As usual, it's great to have hugs all around the room, and it's wonderful to connect with so many colleagues, bosses, and friends. It's a great networking event. Thank you for that, and great to be on this panel with this dynamic set of men in black. So, talking about technology and how has IHCL leveraged it. As you're all aware, IHCL has been an organization who has grown tremendously in the last few years. We actually woke up to a new reality with the number of hotels, and especially growing in Tier 2 and Tier 3 cities. Managing those hotels, the dynamics are very different from managing hotels in large cities. How do you make sure that the people who, a hotel in Tawang is able to deliver the same service standards that the hotel in New Delhi offers? Because the brand is the same. As well as how do you keep track of what that hotel is really doing, how's their performance, without making sure you are not eating into leadership time over there by making calls or checking. We actually put all our data on the cloud. Very recently, we moved all our HR data, all our financial data onto a cloud. So on the click of a button on my phone, I would have what are the APC at a particular restaurant and what was the ARR they did last week, what segmentation is working, what is not, and how do I support those hotels in those areas. So that has been a big game changer, especially managing leadership time. That has also helped us strategize better, prioritize, saying which are the hotels which really need common support. These are hotels where food costs may be higher or we are not unable to drive the banquet covers. So you actually can do core teams to help support those particular hotels. Apart from this, we have also have a huge strength of the Tata fraternity. The Tata New app has been a game changer for us. So that is now, apart from only hotel points, miles, etc., you have lots more coming with airlines joining partnerships soon. So there should be there's a lot of bandwidth that mileage or that loyalty program gives our guests today. That has also helped us get data. Data is gold in today's day and age, and that gold actually can be leveraged responsibly without fringing personal data security, not getting into personal space and likes and dislikes, but still making our guest experience so special. So data has actually helped us understand our guests better, and before they come into a hotel, we actually earlier all of us depended on the software and an employee to update that preference on the software. To say, Opera, does the profile notes have Kanika's preferences? She wants a non-smoking room, she likes pink flowers, etc., etc. Today, it's all available through the app, through technology, and it's all available to hotels which may not be on a central server anymore. As we grow as an organization, it's all individual hotels, maybe remote locations. So enabling communication and getting people to know what's happening out there is vital. And also, what has been a huge learning in the last 3 years is procurement. We spend so much money. I mean, everything we have in a hotel is procured, right? So how do you make sure that the same procurement value is available to places which are far away as they are available to cities which have convenience? And what is the price bandwidth or the approved brands, instead of having people sitting and picking up phones and saying, what pasta am I allowed to use? To say, these are the approved brands, these are the price points, this is your big basket support vendor who's going to help you get it to your door. So that has also been a huge game changer for us, and obviously all this relates to guest satisfaction, and that's what keeps the organization ahead of the game.
Kanika, thank you very much. You're a true hotelier in the sense, and the memory of Kanika, she was our Director of Services at the JW Marriott, Juhu, Mumbai. And I walked into the lobby one day and she had tulips on the grand staircase on both sides. I don't know how much you spent for that, but she had this passion for luxury hoteliering, so thank you very much. Vishvapreet, let's chat a little bit. Let's talk about data. Okay, you have a very diverse portfolio of hotels. How do you use data analytics to increase efficiency and operational excellence?
Umesh, thank you very much for having me here. Listen, data analytics is actually a derivative of technological advances, right? Or innovation that is happening in not just hospitality industry, actually, it's happening across the world. So how do we use data and derive our decision-making skills makes us better and more strategic, whether it's short-term or long-term, right? So you mentioned we've got diverse portfolio of hotels. Yes, IHG has that. It's spread all across the country and globally. So if I have to understand how a particular hotel is functioning, we've got various cloud-based platforms that have already been executed and implemented, which gives us the ability to analyze, strategize, and implement. I'll give you some examples. Concerto is our cloud-based platform, which basically what it does is it takes all applications that are available on the particular hotel and it brings into one space, one level. And you, using your digital devices, sitting anywhere, you can actually see what the health of the hotel is, how the hotel is performing or how number of hotels are performing. But you can drill down to the brass tacks of seeing who the guest is checking in on that particular day, whether the guest is a loyalty member or not, and whether you have the ability to bring that person into our fold. So that's the granular information that comes on that platform. That platform also allows you to create a dashboard that is conducive, customized to yourself. What is it that you would want to look at a particular region? And whether a particular focus needs to be done in that space. So that's cloud-based. How does it help the owner? We actually allow the owner also to access that. So we are transparent with the owner, right? And how does it help the guest? So guest actually has the ability to look at choosing a specific type of room. Let's say the guest wants the room closer to the elevator, facing a particular scenery, and so on and so forth. So those attributes, the guest can use those attributes and book a specific room for themselves, right? So, so those elements do play part in Concerto. Earlier this year, we also released a cloud-based revenue management system. So top line is important for everybody, right? So how do we maximize it? How do we make sure that we yield on it? So this cloud-based platform basically takes data from the environment. So let's say your particular hotel is in a particular city. So what is the traffic in that city coming through? What is the aircraft landing schemes coming through? What ticketing data is coming through? What your competition is pegging their price points at? And then it recommends to the hotel that this is what you need to do. So it's AI, right? Artificial intelligence. So yeah, we're using all those data points and platforms to make sure that we are ahead of the game. And of course, our loyalty app, which we revamped and transformed, and we launched it in 2022, right? So that allows the guests to redeem their milestone points instantly. It's quite interactive. The guest has the ability to have a seamless check-in, has the ability to book their rooms, and also look at how they are, what all activities happening on their loyalty program. So yeah, there's just a few examples that we do.
Vishvapreet, thank you very much. Those few examples are very well put, and I'm pretty sure they're very successful. Thank you. Thank you. Let's chat a little bit with Anupam. You know, Anupam, you spoke about training and development before.
Yeah.
What is the focus of training and development, specifically at your hotel and Leela in general, to see how it relates to operational excellence?
Yes.
And also grow leaders. So yes.
Thank you. At the outset, when you walk into a hotel and if there is excellence in the hotel, it can be directly attributable to the quality of training, not just the volume, but the quality of training and the amount of time that the leadership team is taking to coach every individual under them in their circle of influence. You can see that I've been a big proponent of this all my life, and I feel very strongly about it. And to be honest with you, very fortunate to work in an organization where it's there's a lot of focus on that, right from the CEO downwards. Really believes in delivering that training. Having said that, specific to the hotel, I think there are 3 or 4 key aspects of training and learning and development. I think that are world class and benchmarked. Number 1, I would say, is that whatever training we deliver is all based on guest feedback. So, like you said, it ties down to, goes back to the operational excellence aspect of things, and a very strong training needs analysis, which helps the trainer develop practical, pragmatic training and deliver it to the people who need that training at that particular point of time. And I think we are very successful in that. Secondly, developing training modules across different levels. So whether it's team members, supervisor, our leadership development program, which is now in its 3rd year of iteration, which is a 15-month program that we have with our partners, Indian School of Hospitality. I think that is really developing amazing leaders of the future, and not just as, as a leadership pipeline, but also to perpetuate the, the culture of the brand. And that is so, so important. So that is another aspect of training and leadership development. We also have another leadership development program for our high potentials across senior and mid-senior levels, so that they can continue on their path of training and development. Last but not the least, I think one very often disregarded aspect of training and development is the initial induction, which we call ARUM, and we are all very focused about it. We have a 5-day ARUM program, and everybody has to go through it. Again, not just a deep dive into the what the brand is about, but also the ethos and the dharma of the brand. And again, it helps us perpetuate the brand values and ethos of the brand. And all of this comes together in our learning and development strategy, and it flows right from the top.
Thank you, Anupam.
Thank you.
That, I think, flows down very well, and you put it across very well. Thank you. Let's talk to Shridhar. Cultural diversity in operations. How do you address diverse cultural preferences of guests at your beautiful hotel here? And how do you see this helping the overall operational excellence?
Thank you, Arun. So I think to start with, when you talk about cultural diversity, I think it starts with the brand. We are very proud to have been associated with a brand which is so deeply rooted in, celebrating Indian heritage, diversity, and I think it all starts with that. In the organization, there is a lot of emphasis which is given on making sure that we feel, we celebrate, feel pride about our Indian heritage. Maybe a few decades back, there used to be a time when as hoteliers, if you had to be part of a 5-star hotel, you had to imbibe Western culture. But I think that is changing, and it's changing fast. We are very, very proud of our Indian heritage, and I think we see it as a responsibility to be able to bring India to the world when we interact with our guests. And I think that kind of displays the immense amount of pride our associates feel. So to address, to answer your question with regards to how do you sort of address cultural diversity as far as addressing guest needs is concerned, I think the minute our associates understand the importance of celebrating diversity, as far as the culture is concerned, I think that really sort of answers the question. India has got more than 1,000 cultures, so no other country in the world has this kind of diversity as India. And I think the minute you start to understand, acknowledge, and celebrate that, everything becomes so easy. When you deal with people from various cultures, it becomes so easy for you to just sort of excel as far as the service is concerned.
Shridhar, thank you very much. That is really nice, and you put it really very well. Let's chat with Kanika a little bit. Tell me about one quality assurance initiative that you introduced at your hotel. And I know you're very passionate about quality. And one unique thing that stood out which really helped you drive operational excellence.
So quality assurance is what the brand is all about, right? Our guests walk into the doors because they trust our brands, and that holds true for each of us, irrespective of where we work, which brand we work for. So delivering to that expectation and living up to that trust is actually what we all do every day. As I manage a larger geography, and as hotels for us have grown, we have gone into remote parts, and one of the biggest ones is to make sure that, like I shared earlier, the quality is maintained across every part of the country or the world, wherever that hotel is. One very important thing, and I think Anupam spoke about it, we spoke about the crisis management, it's about training. Training is core to delivering that brand promise. Training is the answer to making sure every employee, morning, evening or night, is delivering to that expectation of that guest just because they happen to walk into that door and they expect it from us. Like you said, I remain passionate about making sure training is core to our people. we do a lot of work in trying to do skill development. As a brand, we believe in picking up people or helping people from grassroots levels join our industry. I see Mr. Rajan Bahadur there. We work together on some forums with him there too. This is a very important aspect of what we do even as a brand under the Tata umbrella, of helping people from different communities come join us, learn the skill. We are not a very long-term training industry. 3 months, a person can be a brilliant server, a great housekeeper, and can handle a wonderful check-in. How we get the skill beyond that, or the technical knowledge, is what has to happen on the job. So yeah, quality assurance is firstly about training. Quality assurance is also about hearing the customer's voice. What are our guests saying? What are they saying on social media? What are they saying on our NPS platforms? And reading between the lines. Are we delivering excellence, or are we just doing a job? And obviously, we recognize for excellence, we comment for excellence, we compliment people for actually what we call in our language tajness. Tajness is a little bit extra. And tajness is that little bit of saying that, you came in for a spa treatment, I happen to be free, can I give you 10 minutes more of a back rub? That's where that little bit of wow comes in, where the memory of the brand stays on, because it was that individual who made the difference, and it went beyond brand or service promise. So that is, I think, core. And watching out these cues is what is vital to all of us as leaders. What is also hand-holding teams to enable them to be empowered to do that and not question them that why did they do it. Making them feel special when they did it, commending them, complimenting them, and the culture of complimenting actually is quite, it catches. One person gets complimented, the other says, oh, they did it like this, let me try. And you can be sure everyone's going to do it, and soon, as general manager, you're free to do much more. So I honestly say that it's about building your team, training them, helping them flourish, showing them the right way, and just letting them do what they do best.
Training, creating memories, and complimenting. So thank you very much. That was really nicely put. Let's chat with Atul. ITC hotels are known for sustainable practices. You lead the industry in many ways to do this. And I just wanted to kind of chat with you to see how do you implement this sustainability, the programs which really think really make sense, and also how do they contribute to the operational excellence or efficiency?
The entire framework of our term responsible luxury was born when we were always at the crossroads where either it can be sustainable or luxury. Cannot be both, but that was not the choice. Either or was not the choice. So that's how this entire thing as a responsible luxury came in, and that's where our most of our hotels were LEED Platinum rated, largest hotel chain, our zero water discharge hotels, zero carbon. We've already been able to achieve that 2030 target of emission targets. We've been able to do that. And in excellence, I'll give you one example of our sleep program. In the sleep program, you look at decibel levels, you look at fragrance, you look at aromas, you look at the menus which induce sleep. At the end of the day, we are in the business of selling sleep. And if we can give that, if our guests have a great sleep at our hotels, next day morning is going to be great for him. So sustainability has many more factors which we've been able to achieve, whether it is good to see these glass bottles all across. It's so good to see everybody in the industry is doing it, and that's fantastic. By removing single-use plastic, ITC hotels alone, we've been able to eliminate 2.5 lakh kg plastic in a year. That we can keep talking about sustainability at this point of time, but for the paucity of time. That's really
wonderful.
Thank you.
It's really wonderful. Atul, thank you very much. Let's quickly move on to Vishvapreet. Future trends. 3 future trends that you think are going to lead the way for operational excellence and efficiencies moving forward.
Technology innovation would be one big trend that will make sure that personalization of guest experiences are brought to the next level, right? I already told you what all we are doing in terms of making sure guests are able to book seamlessly and attribute or create attributes to their stay. Furthermore, it is also very important to see how best we can use AI and robotics to bring in element of excellence and service, speed in service. So that is one element that will be very, very important. The second most important aspect will be sustainability. That will be the key trend. It's no longer a buzzword. It's no longer a word that is niche. It is actually should be part of our DNA. We should be accountable for what we do and how we consciously make sure that we are promoting eco-sustainability and whatever activities we are doing should benefit the planet, make sure we are giving back to the communities and also looking after our people. So at IG, we've got an initiative called Journey to Tomorrow, right? It got launched in 2021. It's a 10-year initiative. And it is aligned to the UN Sustainable Development Goals, right? And we are making sure that we are giving back to the community, giving back to the people, their well-being, and also to the planet. Apart from that, we've also got the IG Green Engage initiative. Is a cloud-based platform which helps us look at how we are controlling our wastage. It populates all the information in terms of energy, in terms of waste generation, in terms of consumption, and then obviously throws back in recommendations as to how they can control. So two broader perspectives in terms of technological advances that would bring in customer experiences and sustainability as part and parcel of our operating essence. So these two would be very key trends.
Vishvapreet, thank you very much. I think data-driven analytics is growing, and I can hear it in many different ways. So thank you very much. So Vineet, last but not least, tell us one really innovative operational practice that you've implemented in your cluster of hotels, which has really yielded you great results.
Okay, so I think training is most important, taking care of guests is most important, brand standards is critical, but ultimately I think having fun in hotels is number one. I mean, I don't see any reason why. You just mentioned, Arun, that once upon a time you met this lady with lilies on the ground, tulips at the grand staircase at the JW. These are fun stories, and I think that's one very important thing that's important and we all can't forget that hotels is a place which is full of emotions. All right. I know the buzzer has gone off once or twice. I'll take 30 seconds more. They've given up. All right. But just to, since you asked, a couple of things which is very critical to speak about is, like most other hotels in Delhi, we also run about 90% average occupancies through the year. We do a 5-day work week. We do a 9 hours per day mandatory. We do overtime. I have my colleague Satish over here who heads talent and culture. And he's like a hawk the day this goes off. And the hotels actually get questioned on why are we pushing our artists beyond the time? Why can't we make ourselves more efficient in those 9 hours? Reduce the smoke breaks, make it more efficient. But ultimately what happens is, I'm very proud to say I have a bunch of artists who are bouncy on their feet, they're refreshed, they follow their hobbies, and also enjoy working in hotels. We are right now, year to date, less than 20% as far as attrition is concerned. We have people who leave us, they come back. Ultimately, why? Because we run happy hotels. And I think that's most important for all of us before a nice lunch today. Thank you.
Thank you, Vineet. That was really nicely put. Having fun is more important. We spoke a little bit, and I think between us, we shared so many jokes, which we've not done for a while, but That's what keeps us going. So thank you very much. So that kind of brings us to the end of this discussion. But ladies and gentlemen, please put your hands together for this distinguished panel of leaders who taught us data-driven analytics, training, and sustainable practices are the way ahead for operational excellence. So thank you very much.